instance, Avalon takes all those friendships you've built up over the years and throws them out the window, taking your friend group and pitting them against each other to determine who wants to save Camelot and who are dirty, scummy traitors who have no business going on this mission, guys. Seriously?
We have a fail. Jared.
Luke!
Dude.
Yeah. I think Luke's hanging awfully tight.
Luke?
He was awfully...
I'm sorry, you're way too chatty.
No.
You're way too chatty.
Why would...
He was
What are you
way
playing at?
into picking himself.
Yeah, because I know I'm good. Unlike Sutherland.
Sure. I don't know, but
You can pick this game up from your local shop for $20 or around $14 online as of writing. In the box, you'll find 14 character cards, 10 quest cards, various tokens, 3 scoreboards, and a rulebook. The cards are well made, holding up after multiple uses, especially important in a social deduction game. The tokens are what one might expect, chunky and easily recognizable. The scoreboards are sizable enough to communicate the game state to everyone at the table, but not so big that they take up too much space, acting as a nice reference point. The rulebook is fairly basic and can be hard to read through, but expresses the concepts of the game well, explaining the game and its various roles in an understandable manner. I feel rather conflicted about the insert. While the well for the tokens is rather deep, the card holder is frustratingly shallow. Despite this, the reference boards are form-fit to the box. In Avalon, players are secretly provided role cards, determining them as either the blue heroes of Camelot or the red traitors. A team wins when their group successfully accomplishes 3 missions for their side. Each round, the new first player will select a predetermined number of players to go on that round's mission, with a lot of table discussion and speculation swaying the decisions one way or another. All players, including those team members, vote whether they want that team to go on that mission or not, revealing their votes simultaneously. If the vote is tied or composed primarily of rejections, the first player marker is passed to the next player and a new team is selected. If this happens 5 times in a row, the traitors win. On the other hand, if the vote is primarily positive, then the selected team goes on that mission. Each player on a mission will be given 2 cards, a success card and a fail card. If a player is blue, they must always select the success card. If red, a player can choose which of the 2 cards they want to play, potentially bluffing their way to a better social standing. Players play their cards face down to a central pile and discard the other card face down in a separate pile. After all the cards have been selected, they are shuffled, and the first player then reveals the cards one at a time. If all cards are success cards, the mission is won for the blue team. If there is a single fail card in the pile, though, the red team wins that round. The exception of this is the 4th round, in which 2 fail cards must be present for the red team to win. This process continues until one team achieves 3 victories. Now, the rules I have described up to this point are those of the traditional Resistance game, one of Indie Boards and Cards' most successful franchises, but what makes this version special is that some of the players have their own unique characters and abilities. The 2 that are always in play are Merlin for the blue team and the Assassin for the red team. At the start of the game, Merlin sees who all of the red players are, helping him to attempt to sway the game in the blue team's favor. However, at the end of the game, if the blue team wins, the assassin gets the chance to select one player to kill. If that player is Merlin, the red team wins instead. Other additional roles can be added in for extra fun, and can be added in different ways to balance the game or sway it in one team's favor. On top of this, there is a Lady of the Lake variant, which allows players to potentially learn the loyalties of other players mid-game. There is some additional content for this game in the form of the Lancelot cards, but this is a Kickstarter exclusive, unfortunately, a common practice for indie boards and cards. Avalon is at its best when the entire table is bursting with energy as each player attempts to suss out who is playing for which team, and the traitors are trying to sow mistrust and confusion.
he will scream.
Discard
Watch
this card.
this card.
I can't handle this.
He's gonna have an aneurysm.
Here are your 4 failures, sir.
There's gonna be at least one sort of failure. Someone really looked at their card in a weird way.
Wait,
Okay.
Success.
Come on.
Fail. You what the? No.
This is a social game, make no mistake, and it can be chaotic at times, but I would mark that as a point in the game's favor. It combines the core gameplay of the Resistance and the roles aspect of Werewolf, culminating in the best version of either game that I've played to this date. And yes, the Resistance released roles for the base game as expansions, but what's collected here in this version is by far the best of those role cards, and with a much stronger theme added into the game in my opinion. Not only that, but Avalon comes in one convenient package, whereas the Resistance forces you to buy multiple expansion packs. Avalon allows players to make some selective and smart choices while still making them uncertain as to whether they're right or not. If Merlin picks a perfect team without breaking a sweat on their turn, that can be an easy way to expose themselves, giving the assassin an easy target. And even if you're not sure what's going on around the table, the game can quickly become hilarious due to the outbursts that occur.
Oh, good. The two people are on the failing mission. I wonder what's gonna happen. No,
I wasn't
denial.
on the
No, not okay.
To be fair, this is a social deduction game, and carries many of the burdens the genre is known for. The learning curve for new players is a real factor that can sway games in the favor of the traders, at least for the first few games, allowing for shutout experiences that simply aren't fun. This can also be a problem during setup, as players need to know when their role interacts with other players during the setup phase before the start of the game. Lastly, games can be a little more on the chaotic side with 9 to 10 players, but while I've seen some dissuade others from playing with such high counts, some of my best experiences have been due to having so many factors in play. It's taken me a while to come to this conclusion, having put off this review for some time now, but the Resistance Avalon is one of my favorite games to date, and will make a great addition to collections of those who have gaming groups with large numbers, are fans of either the Resistance or Werewolf, enjoy socially focused games, or who get invested in role-playing. From a cost perspective, Avalon is pretty cheap for what it is, but with such a shallow insert and a rulebook that is somewhat lacking, falls just short of a perfect score. Regardless, everyone who is given the opportunity should at least try this game, as it provides a rather pure social deduction experience in one easy package. As usual, let me know what you think in the comments down below, take a moment to like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw here, and be sure to check out our recent articles and updates on Facebook and GamesOnTape.com.